guys, it's Trish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning how to patina paint. Patina it's an enamel type metal paint, not metal, metal paint. And it comes in a ton of different colors. There's onyx, and the best place in my opinion to pick these up is Jesse James Beads. They do have them on their website, and there is a link down below if you're interested in checking those out. But this is a permanent metal paint, okay? The only way that you can clean this up once it's dried, and that's even pushing it. It should still, when it's dry, really nothing. Except for if it's on your hands, you can use alcohol to get it off. But I try to be extremely careful with where I put the paint. As you can see here, let's go over a list of what we're going to use today. I have two different vintage pieces here, which vintage has they make a ton of pieces that are that take the patina paint very well. There are a lot of metal. You can use any kind of metal you want, really, to paint. And you can decide if you want it painted solid, if you want it more aged looking by rubbing some of it off. There's a lot of different techniques you can do. I use a paint palette. You don't have to. Just put like put a sandwich bag down or something. I always cover my surface with a paper towel or newspaper. Of course, the patina paints, a paper towel to kind of dab off onto. I pick out a variety of brushes to use. There isn't any that are wrong. It's what you're comfortable with and what you seem to get the results that you prefer. And this is just like a short square, a long square, and a detail brush. Okay, and of course a little bit of water, because you don't want to let your paint dry on your brush. It will ruin your brush. That's just it. It's done. It's over. You might as well toss it. So always rinse it out if you're not going to be going right into the next color or something like that, because personally I don't rinse it in between colors. That's my personal preference. But anyway, and some alcohol pads I do have here just in case I needed to wipe something up real quick, and I know it'll come up then. So that's about it for your tools that you're gonna need, and tools and materials. So then the patina paint requires quite a bit of shaking, and as you can hear, there's a little ball inside there. If it's been sitting for a while, it's going to, as you can hear that one, it's been sitting a little longer and I haven't used it, so it's going to take a little bit till that ball starts moving. But you always want to shake your paints before you're getting ready to use them. See, yeah, that one, you know, same thing. You got to just, don't give up. There's a little ball inside there. It's kind of like nail polish, and you just got to shake it till the ball comes loose. I'm not going to be using this one, so I don't know why I'm shaking it. But I'm going to get out turquoise, jade, get that shaken. We just used turquoise the other day, so verdigris, excuse me. I just call it Verdi, it's just easier for me, but this is one of my favorite colors. Okay. And let's see what else, because I want to kind of do two different looks for you here, guys. Let's do a little bit of moss and some marine. I like to get multiple shades of the same color out, and it seems to give it a level of depth. Okay, gives it a depth. Or in the same color family. Whoopsie. And then I always get out some black, some onyx, because I feel like, for me personally, I like the antique look in general on my metal pieces. I always just put a teeny bit of black on everything, just kind of, I don't know, just kind of finishes it for me personally, but that's going to be up to you. The more you play with them, the more you'll know what you prefer and what you don't prefer. So let's pick one of these up, move it out of the way, and I think we'll start with, and I like the boho look, so that's easier for me. So I have turquoise. Now, here's the thing, you can see it's not coming right out there. They do get clogged, and don't worry, just take a little piece of wire or something down inside to clear that out. When they sit for a little bit, they get clogged, and it takes very little paint. These go a very long way. So don't overdo it because you're just wasting paint. And let's do a little bit of, let's put these three in first, and that was marine, verde, and turquoise. Okay, and I always start with my light color first, so then I don't have to worry about with the brushes getting all messed up before I move on. So I'm going to start with this one, this brush here, that it's a short square brush. So let's tap in, and this is again my preference, the way I like things to look, but I usually just tap in and get the bristles just so, you know, a little bit on them, and then I tap them off on the paper towel, and then I just start kind of pouncing on the piece, because that's the color, that's the texture and, you know, variety that I like. And then I'm going to go into the next, tap that off a little bit, then tap into the turquoise, and again go back in, tap. Can't see really a big difference on those two, a little bit. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of the verde. And patina painting is all about layering. So if you're working on a piece and you think, oh my gosh, that's horrible, I can't believe I created this, you know, just layer it. And another technique I like to use, I'll take it, once I put, you know, some of the paint on, I'll take my paper towel and like blot it on there or rub some of it off. Again, like I said, I prefer the boho look. So if you want it to be solid, this is not a technique you're going to want to do. But you can see already just how cute that's looking. And that was just like teeny bits of paint. Okay, so let's go back. Let's do some more layers. We'll go back into this a little bit. Tap that, put a little bit more of that in here or there. A little bit of turquoise. A bit more verde. And I'm staying in the blue color family here, but you could certainly add in some green to it. Any colors that you like, you can really add to it. And I'm going to pick it up again. Kind of dab it. Kind of rub it a little bit. Look, that's building it up even more. Just giving you a more, it's a nicer look when you layer and layer. It gives it more depth. So you can see I got on my finger already. That's not unusual. All right, so we're just gonna keep layering, tiny bit here, tap in. And again, it's all in what you like. If you feel like you want to stop right at the beginning there where we were, you certainly can. It just is up to you. All right. Sorry, my dogs always seem to bark when I'm doing a video, and the husband hollers at them. So, but there. I'm fairly happy with that for now. Gonna work on the back. I like to color the back. It's just me personally. And you can do it however you like, but I'm just gonna use the same technique. Not being just as careful as the front, but just so it's uniform. with the front, because I do like my back, the back of my focals to be finished looking as well. All right, just cleaning this paint up here, just kind of dabbing, wipe this off a little bit of that. I'm just kind of swirling them all, getting them all, using that paint up because we don't want to waste that paint. So that's just the back of it, just a simple solid color really. So, but like I said, right now I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to set that aside to dry, and I'm going to rinse my brush out because I'm moving on to another piece. So that's fairly simple, guys. We're going to come back to that after we finish our other one, once it's good and dry. I'm going to go back to that a little bit so it isn't quite as solid. There you go. Okay, so going to the side. Now, the next one, same exact item. And we're going to see, oh, you know what I want to do first? I forgot to put my little black, bits of black in it. Let's just put a drop here. Like I said, I just like to tap that on very lightly. And you can see the teeny amount that I put there. And my brush is still wet, so we'll see how this works. But I'm going to try this brush, since mine's still wet. The one that I was using. So let's try it with this. It's just a square brush. Again, it really does not matter. I'm just really tapping that off. And I'm just going in here and there, just touching it with the black, kind of going along the leaves, down the stem a little bit. It kind of just gives it depth. Again, that's my thoughts on it, but now you can see the difference. There's a lot of depth there. And we can go back in with more blue later, or however we want to layer it, but we're going to sit that one down for a while. He's going to dry. Okay, I'm just rinsing that brush out. I'm going to dry it. All right, and I'm going to go back to my original brush here, and I'm going to dry that out, put our other piece on. I'm trying to think, I want to incorporate another color in with my greens. I got a new orange. I got this carnelian, golden agate, and citrine. No, it's not going to be the citrine. I'm thinking maybe this golden agate. Let's see, I'm not sure. But we could also do a little bit of aged bronze. Yeah, maybe we'll go with that. And we may not have to use the black if we're using aged bronze. I just want to give this a quick shake. Okay. See how this comes out. This top of this nozzle is seeing better days on this one, but it's okay. It's still very usable. And we got, make sure that's all mixed up. And this one is moss. Just like 2 drops, guys. You can always put more. And I find these paint palettes either at the Dollar Tree, or we have a Surplus City around us here, and I can find them there as well as these bowls. All right, so a little bit of jade. Okay, that one comes out quick there. All right, guys, so we're gonna go in with the jade because that's the lightest color. Tap it off. Go back in, tap some more off because I can see that's a little bit much for what I'm looking for. That paper towel is your friend. It helps you kind of, you know, adjust your paints so they're not so, they're more opaque. The more you tap it off on here, the more opacity you're going to get, if that's a word, guys. So yeah, I'm dipping into, what is that one, moss. And I'm tapping off. Gonna do a little bit here. That's still a little bit dark. We'll go in and tap that. I'm gonna pick this up now. And you can see already how it's coming together. And I'm gonna rub on it to kind of get it the look that I prefer, which is more of an aged antique-y look. So that rubbed some of it off, but it still looks really good. Put a little bit more moss into it here. The darker color. And again, it's just this tapping motion. And you can detail paint items as well. If you wanted to get in here and paint this stem solid and then paint all the leaves, you could certainly do it. I would just recommend, you know, a more fine brush to do that. That's just not, that's not for me. So that's just not my, the look I prefer. But hey, you know, it's whatever you like. So I did the same thing, tapped into the aged bronze. Now I'm kind of going back over that, which is kind of giving it a really cool look. I love metallics. I love using metallics in patina painting. Really adds a lot. So that's what we have so far. If you can make it out with those metallics on there. But I'm digging it. I'm liking it so far. I'm going to go back and put a little bit more of this light just to kind of give it some highlights here or there. On the edge a little bit. Okay. And then just a tiny, tiny dab. Black we're going to put in here. Go back here with a little bit green of the moss. And again, it's all about building, guys. It's all about just building the layers and then going in and wiping off if you want to. And there's going to be, I'm going to show you how to buff or sand your pieces here in a moment. So that's another way that you can do it. So here's our little tiny bit of black. I'm dabbing that off pretty good here on my paper towel. Again, you're going to be kind of light-handed with the black, you know, and try not to just try to get it exact on items. Just kind of go with the flow, just free flow with it. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the back of this. Might need a little bit more paint for that because I'm pretty much drying out here, guys. Yeah, put a little bit more moss in there. Whoops. And my brush is just sitting there a moment, so that's why I'm not rinsing it out just yet, because I'm going to go right back to it. And I'm going to do the back of this just to give it a uniform look finished. And then a little bit of, and also guys, you know, you can mix paints any way you would mix paints to do a painting. You can take these paints and you can mix them, mix the different colors, and it will give you different looks as well. And again, I'm just going in and I'm brushing that out. And now I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more. I'm not kind of exact on this. It's just to kind of make sure that it's uniform. And go back in and wipe that a little bit. Yeah. And I'm pretty happy with that, guys. Okay, so here's the green one that we did. I'm gonna put my brush into water here quick. And here is the blue one that we did. Two different looks. But, you know, both still really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna move this little tray out of the way here. And the next thing I want to tell you about, now you have to forgive the state of mind because I do need new blocks, but Vintage makes these blocks as well that Jesse James Beads does carry. Sorry, I get it in the screen. This side is supposed to be white, if that tells you anything. That's how hard I used mine. And then you have two gray sides, and this gray side is to shine, to really shine it up. The ones that will give you the most paint removal will be the white side or the two gray sides. And again, this is going to be something you're going to play with. You're going to see what looks you like, what gives you the best results for you. But it's as simple as this. Make sure it's dry. And you're going to go in with your buffing block and just rub back and forth, keeping an eye on what it's buffing, how it's looking. I'm using the white side, even though it's not white right now. And it's just kind of picking up areas. I don't know if you can make it out, guys, but look, it's just like taking paint off in areas. Oh, excuse me. Taking paint off in areas to kind of just give it a, I don't know, just a really pretty appearance. And you can see it showing some of that metal through there. And it does. It takes the paint off and shows back some of the metal. So again, if you're interested in just keeping it solid in the way you painted it to begin with, you probably aren't going to want to buff. But if you do like that look, I'm going to go around the edges a little bit of kind of a worn look or a boho look, you know, you'll really enjoy it, I believe. I think you will. And I'm just kind of going around the edges. You just play with it and see. And remember, if you buff too much paint off, you can always go back in and add some more paint onto it, let it dry, and start over. You know, this isn't a science. This is something that you're really made to enjoy. It's just really fun. So you can see how it took some of the paint off the edges and it's giving it more of a metal look through the paint. You can go do as little or as much as you like. And I just use my fingers here and I press it against the block. Again, you don't have to do that hard of pressing when you have a nice new block. So, and there you go. There's that one. Now I'm going to take this shiny side and I'm going to kind of shine this a little bit. You can see this flat gray side is what I'm talking about. And it just brings up a sheen on the piece. And you can see now, you can really see, I hope so, you can really see that metal just shining through. Same on the sides here. See? So you know, it's a fun thing. I mean, it's really super fun to kind of make things the way you like them. This may not be you, and that's okay. You know, but you can, you know, do it in any style that you like. So I'm going to go in on the green one here. And I'm going to go straight into the side buffing block on this one instead of the white. See what we get here. Now, also guys, and you can see that really brought up a lot of metal quickly with using just that side. Okay. And keep in mind, guys, you can use fine grit sandpaper, you can use nail files, but the thing you're going to want to remember, like if you use a nail file like this, and it's going to take off chunks of paint, it's going to look cool, but you always want to make sure that you clean them off well after you use a regular file like that with like a baby wipe, and then go in with this soft gray side and go over it, because if not, it's going to look dull, and you don't want it to look dull. After all that work you put into it, just kind of looks like a dusty piece, you know. But experiment, have fun with it. And again, I'm just doing some edges here. I'm kind of happy with that. Now I'm going to go back and use my side to shine it up. And there you go. Two very different pieces with different colors anyway, but two really cool looks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.